Oh my gosh. Extreme kitchen nightmares, ultimate dangers of DJing, and plenty of other new fears unlocked by the one and only Michael Myers. Today, we're breaking down and reacting to all of the horror-filled medical scenes and fiery injuries from Halloween. Let's dive right in. Oh no. Oh man, I love it. Michael Myers, Halloween. Fireman falls one story through the floor, landing potentially on your feet. If you land directly on your heels, we worry about calcaneal fractures. We're looking at different angles on x-rays to see if we can see subtle fractures. And then you're pushing on the bones in the back to make sure that the energy doesn't go straight up and maybe have a vertebral fracture. Music. Oh. Ouch.
Ouch.
Hitting his face and then going directly into the skull could fracture the face, go straight into the brain itself. It also can cause mid-face fractures, bleeding, and airway compromise. If it's into the brain, most likely it's going to be succumbing to that type of injury. Oh. That is a really blunt object that just got shoved into your torso or your abdomen. Big things you worry about: airway, aka lungs, heart, even your major blood vessels. If you're hitting into the abdomen, soft tissue, and you're missing major structures, you might be hitting the intestines or the stomach. Could survive if you get to the hospital sooner than later. Get out of there. Oh. Ow. Blunt head trauma on the side is what I always worry about because there's something called the middle meningeal artery. If that artery ruptures or breaks open, you can get an epidural hematoma. It's a very concerning type of bleed because it pushes the brain over in such a way that it can actually cause herniation of the brain to the other side. You can see that piece of glass straight through the neck, going just lateral to the Adam's apple that you see on the left side here. What's right to the side of that? Those are your major blood vessels, right? Your carotid artery and your jugular vein. Yep, there you go. See how easy it is to break? Oh my gosh. Because of the flimsiness of this type of material, the likelihood of going significantly deep further into the tissue is probably low. So now we have bleeding vessel that might be tamponaded. We have foreign bodies in the tissue itself, and the patient probably is going to be alive for a while. Why would you have blood in the mouth? If you're just injuring the neck, you haven't hit the airway or the esophagus. Maybe got into that deeper, probably the esophagus. But if the angle goes up, maybe you can get into the posterior pharynx a little bit. If you just hit into the neck, you're not gonna have blood coming out of your mouth.
Billy, what are you trying to do, man? Suck your own.
Oh man. I don't know what object is in the right eye socket, but straight through, probably all the way hubbed into the skull itself. So you have a socket where all your muscles and the nerves sit and the rest of your eye. And then on the other side where the optic nerve goes into your skull with the vessels. Oh, blunt force trauma to somebody's skull fracture. We're gonna get the classic laceration that we see. It looks like a line, but it actually splits straight open because of the pressure that happens. Bleeding control, because the head bleeds a ton. Majority of the time we're using staples to close up a wound, not sutures.
Not.
Oh. Majority of the time when we see injuries that come to the hospital from people getting run over, you're usually seeing like extremities. So feet, hands, arms, and so you get a lot of crush injuries, fractures, and then delayed onset injuries such as rhabdomyolysis. Oh. So interesting, blunt force trauma to the face. We're seeing a lot of blood to the mouth. We see a bunch of injuries when people fall and you have bloody mouths. Usually it's from your lips or biting the tongue. A lot of times though, when the bleeding is under control, as long as it's not a major defect on the outside, 24, 48 hours, 72 hours, those lips are healing really darn fast, even on the inside of the cheeks. Oh my gosh. A tongue is so vascular, it bleeds so much. So if you saw that, they did a good job. There's a lot of blood that is coming out. Awful.
That's awful.
You probably end up being able to stop the bleeding, but the concern is always the airway. If you're bleeding like this, make sure you're leaning forward. Do a lot of compression to that area.
Forget it, bud.
Oh no, that's Michael Myers. Watching these terrifying injuries always reminds me that sometimes life's occasional stresses can come at you fast. That's where Chillax by my company Life Happens could help out to help ease the tension and bring on those calm vibes. Check it out at lifehappens.com or on Amazon. Yes. Hot water as well as drowning or near drowning episodes. So when you're in the water, you're screaming, you increase the risk of getting water into your lungs, causing a spasm of your vocal cords, and you can actually cause something called dry drowning, which is just a muscular spasm of the upper airway. Is that hot water? I've seen different type of hot liquids where people have had injuries that had to come to the emergency department. First degree burn, just pain medicine, hydration of the tissue. Second degree burn means it actually goes through certain layers and you're getting blistering. And then third degree burns, there's no more pain. There's not really any blisters. The skin is just melted down. When we see skin sloughing off like that, there's a fancy medical term that we use. It's called desquamation. But she seems like she's not with us at the moment. A lot of times, if there's a lot of surface area of the burn, you need to do something called Parkland's formula to give fluid resuscitation, hydration of the tissue with just an ointment. And if it's really bad, depending on the emergency department you go to, you may need to be transferred to a burn center.
Michael.
This person's hitting the head on the steering wheel. Could you succumb to the injury? You might pass out, but it just depends. You may have a coup-counter-coup movement of your brain within your skull, which can cause bruising, or ripping of your bridging veins, which can cause a subdural hematoma. You must do a lot of leg workouts. That just so much strength. Just meat comes flying out. Doesn't really look like that. It's definitely going to be white and grayish in color. You'll have skull fragments and some bleeding, but not already mixed in like this. It looks good for the show, but not what it looks like in real life. Could you step on somebody's skull and cause a skull fracture and brain damage? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, there is a thick skull there, but if you have enough force, you can do that. So please don't do this to individuals. These type of injuries don't come to the hospital because they don't make it. I like Halloween movies. Scary, not scary. I like Michael Myers. I think it's a lot of fun to watch. What is your favorite Halloween movie? Like of this series, not overall, but of the Halloween Michael Myers series, which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments. As always, definitely check out this playlist right here. Binge watch everything. Make sure you subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.